What up, y'all? It's One Sir Grove checking in with the American people and our allies. DSI Analyze. So it's 0625. I'm reading this article here titled, this is NBC News. Title, quote, "The weirdest idea in quantum physics is catching on. There may be endless worlds with countless versions of you." Again, that's from NBC News. So we know that. And according to NBC News, the idea, the concept, the notion is gaining traction, i.e. catching on. Well, Hugh Everett III, he knew. The ancients knew. It's not just a new idea, man. It may be new to mainstream. And that's good. It's good that people are starting to figure it out and the truth is coming out. One thing that is, I don't know, man. I don't know if I should use the word creepy because, look, there's an element of creepiness to it. It's a reality, most certainly. But at some point, you have to just kind of deal with it. You know what I mean? If you're a quantum explorer, I'm just saying, if you're exploring the quantum realm, by the way, this is C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. I am your host. If you are a true fan, if you are not, I can't make you be one, man. But if you are, then IWE495 most certainly appreciate you. Speaking of which, I made a mistake. I listened back on the podcast, the most previous podcast, and I said, if you are not a not true fan, then then I just did it again. Then IWE495 most certainly appreciate you. That's not what I meant. It was intended to be a double negative, but I'm sure you know what I'm saying at this point. Which is interesting because that's exactly my point. So when you start to study the world of quantum reality, deeper truth reality, parallel universes, and alternate universes, same thing, semantics, but to put it into perspective, emphasis here is what we're looking for. Things get really weird, man. You'll see time frames, and then the next day you'll see something completely, totally different, and those time frames that you had seen before might be non-existent at that point. I'm just saying, man. So, Edward Snowden, there are two different competing realities. One reality is that he went to the Russians, he went to the Iranians, and he told them that he uncovered, that is, discovered information while working in government, U.S. government, regarding alien control of the U.S. government. That's one reality. One reality states that Edward Snowden uncovered deeper truth reality about the U.S. American government, in that he believed that tall whites, Nordics, that is, working with apparently the Greys, as part of a group effort, they secretly control the U.S. and everything's staged up, and it's made to look like the world is controlled by some terrestrial, what you see government, but it's really controlled by a non-terrestrial government. That's, again, reality one. Then there's a number two, second reality, where he didn't find anything. He was looking for alien information. He was searching for proof, evidence, empirical data to substantiate and to corroborate any type of alien extraterrestrial information, like involvement in government, shadow government, control of this government, or even just the mere fact of our interactions with any type of alien race. So that's reality number 2. Right in line with that fork in the road, in terms of the double split experiment. Same thing you see with the Mandela effect. You see these splits, these split realities. Sometimes the question will be there and you can find remnants, you can find actual proof of both realities. Sometimes one reality will disappear as if it's been scrubbed from the very fabric of space-time itself. And I mean that quite literally. Time slips occur. There have been stories of people walking into like a restaurant or a venue, a building, and what is supposed to be there is something else, usually some older time period, and the person becomes disoriented and confused, borderline traumatized, and in some cases actually traumatized, and then leaves the establishment, and then sometime later returns, perhaps, in cases where folks have returned because they wanted to see if it was still what they had just observed, and it's back to normal. There's a story about the woman. She lived in a neighborhood community called Riverside. She was driving one day and she ended up in a parallel universe of her Riverside community, and she actually ended up living in that parallel universe reality for multiple years before it reverted back to the original universe that she was from. A lot of stories on record and on file. A lot of different hard evidence and data. A lot of different combinations and variants of what I just imparted. And some of them mathematically, you have to know at this point that some of them have to be true. They can't all be false on Once or Grove.